In the video you guys are about to see, I'm wearing a shirt that says USB hub, but it's written in a particularly familiar font of another website, and I just noticed that. So if you guys want to order that shirt was actually designed by one of my friends. He's a fellow YouTuber and a streamer, mainly does PC builds and stuff like that. His name's Eric Day, and I'll put a link to his merchandise down in the description below. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Hey guys, Eric here. Today's gonna be a little bit different. Today we have a problem and we don't know the cause yet. So I'm gonna take you through the process of figuring out what the cause of the issue is and then hopefully how to fix it. We are here in our property in California. This property is a little bit older. This one was built in the 70s. So some of the piping, although it has been repiped since, some of the piping's old, some of the plumbing's old, the electrical is also old. So there's a lot of things that we have to fix here. But what the issue we're having right now is that we think this dishwasher is leaking. The reason why we think that is we put a towel right here and it's damp. And if we press on the floorboard, sometimes you can see some moisture come up. That's a problem. We don't want this to leak, and we don't want this to leak at all, but we also don't want it to leak for an extended period of time, especially since this is an upstairs unit and there is somebody else living downstairs. So if it leaks too much, it can actually leak into their home, which wouldn't be good. So we're going to take you through how to figure out where the leak is coming from and then how to fix it. This is also going to be interesting because this kitchen has a weird layout. If you look, the sink is here and then the dishwasher is directly underneath the sink, which means you need to have really small, shallow sinks in order for the dishwasher to fit underneath here. It also means that you need to have a special dishwasher. Hold on, there's stuff in here. Special dishwasher which doesn't have much of a top shelf and has this lip that comes down so the sinks can sit on top. I don't like this dishwasher. Eventually we're going to change this out, redo the entire kitchen so we can have a regular sink and a regular dishwasher in here, but now's not the time for that. For now, we have to fix the leak that's happening here. The only access I have to the dishwasher piping is actually through this really tiny cabinet that sits to the right of the dishwasher. And if you look in here, I'll take the stuff out, but if you look in here, there's not much room back there, especially with the garbage disposal there. So that makes this repair a little bit hard. It means I have to reach up into the sides, be able to unscrew where the dishwasher is mounted, so that I can then slide it out, disconnect the pipes, and then slide it out all the way so I can see exactly where the leak is coming from. So the first thing we have to do, empty this cabinet and unscrew the mounts for the dishwasher. This is an older model dishwasher, but typically dishwashers have two lines. They have, if you can see here, sorry, let's see if we can get in here. They have a standard water line, which is this line right here, and then they have a drain or air gap hose, which is right here, and this is where the water gets pumped out of the dishwasher and into the regular drain line. Generally what you can do is you can just feel the lines and slide your hand down the lines, and what you're feeling for is just if anything's damp. There shouldn't be, these lines should be completely dry. So I can reach my hand pretty far in there and it's dry as far as I can reach, but this line goes all the way underneath the dishwasher, so I will still need to pull this out. The drain line is pretty bone dry. So I don't think the leak is actually coming from the water line, at least not from the water line source. It could be coming from the joint where the water line meets the actual dishwasher, but in order to see that, I have to pull it out. What I will also do is remove this base plate, and that'll give me some vision underneath the dishwasher, and maybe I can see where it's wet under there. This is a good starting point. Before you pull everything out, you can shine a light underneath your dishwasher. A lot of times there's a little gap there, and you can see if there's a puddle of water there, or you can try to see the areas where it's wet. This is just unscrewing the 2 screws to take off this bottom panel. There's a screw right here, and then there's a screw on the other side as well. There's also 2 more screws on the bottom side. Okay, now that I've got that bottom panel off, I can see just how dirty it is in the dishwasher. This dishwasher has been in here a long time, and I can't remember the last time we actually had it out of this little cavity here. So I'm gonna clean everything up at the same time, but before I do that, let's take the panel fully out and take a look under the dishwasher to see if we can see where it's wet. Okay, so this is what it looks like underneath the dishwasher here, and I don't know if you can see it. Let me get a light to actually put in here. Alright, so if I shine my light here, you can actually see there's a puddle of water right there. Definitely a leak, and that's gross. Can't see exactly where the leak is coming from just yet, but if you look right over here, this is the joint for the water line, and this is dry. So the leak is not coming from where the water line meets the dishwasher. So that's good. If I pull this water line out, definitely wet. All right. So to start this repair, first thing we got to do is turn the water off to the dishwasher, and show you guys how to do that. If you look right up here, right there, that's the valve that controls the water line that goes to the dishwasher. So we just want to rotate that valve all the way to the right, and that'll take care of turning off the water to the dishwasher. Okay, now that we have the water turned off to the dishwasher, the next thing we have to do is remove the water line from the connection up here. It's good to put a little bowl or bucket beneath that because there will be residual water in the system, and you can use just a pair of channel locks to undo the nut that's in here, and I'll see if I can get you guys a view of what I'm actually doing. This is the joint that I'm talking about that we have to remove. Let's get some light in there, and we'll put our water catch bucket underneath the joint to catch any residual water in the system, and then we'll just go ahead and loosen that. Actually pretty loose. Okay. actually not much residual water in the system there, which is actually really good. Now that we have the water line disconnected from the source, it's time to disconnect it from the dishwasher itself, which is this connection right under here. Let me get it back right there. This connection right in here. And this one we can actually, it's only hand tightened, so it looks like we can just undo it with our hand. There's residual water right here. So I'm gonna tighten this up real quick, and I'm gonna put something down to catch that water. Okay, now that I've got the water line disconnected from both places, I can actually just gently pull this out, and we'll see where the leak is. So if you look right here, right there, the hose is discolored, but that's just from sitting in the water. But there's actually some fraying going on. Okay, once you have the hose disconnected from the dishwasher, you can then replace it. But the first thing you gotta know is the length of that hose, so you gotta measure it. Luckily, this one we don't actually need to measure because the tag is still on here. This one says it's 72 inches in length. You always want to make sure that you get the same length of water line so that you have enough to actually install the dishwasher. Before I go to the hardware store and get the new water line, I'm actually gonna take off the mounts to the dishwasher and pull it out so I can clean up the area underneath. Removing a dishwasher really isn't that hard. Typically there are two mounts on the top here that mount the dishwasher to either mounting brackets on the inside of this cavity right here, or in this case actually to the underside of this counter. This is an older counter, it's not stone or anything like that, and I believe the screws for the mounts go directly into the counter, or there's blocks of wood right here where it goes directly up in here. This counter needs to be replaced, but that's for another video. For now, let's pull out this dishwasher and get it cleaned up. Another thing to note, removing this dishwasher is harder than removing regular dishwashers. As I said before, this dishwasher is mounted right underneath the sink up here on the counter. Typically dishwashers aren't installed this way, and it's much easier to get at them from a side cupboard, or you can remove some wood paneling and you can get to those brackets and you can remove the dishwasher. Or sometimes there's no screws involved at all and it's just brackets you have to press down on, and then you can slide the dishwasher right out. This dishwasher is a little bit older and it's got a weird configuration. What I have to do is I actually have to go inside this cupboard and up here to the left to see if I can get at those mounts, unscrew them, because I know there's screws in there, to be able to slide this out. I will likely have to disconnect this hose as well. This is the drain hose for the dishwasher, and it goes all the way up to the air gap, which is up here. This is the gap cap, and I can pull this off, and I can actually pull this off right here. Oh my gosh, that's gross. I gotta clean this up as well. I can pull this off, unscrew this, and we can pull the drain hose out as well. Because I have to make such a sharp turn in order to unmount this dishwasher up here inside, I'm going to be using this tool. This is a motorized socket wrench, and it should help me make that turn. And I don't need any room to rotate the device because it's electric and it'll do the rotating for me. So let's see if it works. Alright, so I've got the dishwasher dismounted and I've got the drain pipe also disconnected. Just trying to put it in the right place here. Here's the drain pipe. Now it's time to actually pull the dishwasher out. There's actually one more important thing I forgot before we can actually pull the dishwasher out. Most dishwashers nowadays, I believe, I can't say with 100% certainty, have a plug, a regular plug that plugs into an outlet underneath the sink. Like that one right there. This dishwasher doesn't. This dishwasher is hardwired. I'll show you. Right behind this box. Luckily enough, this box is easy enough to take off. And we can disconnect the wires. It does look like it needs a socket. So this is the, now that we have now that we have this off, we can actually see where the dishwasher is hardwired. We have positive, negative, and then a grounding wire, which is green. So I'm gonna leave these connected. We're gonna go to the hardware store, we're gonna get the water line that we need, and then I'll pull these off, turn the power off, and then pull these off, pull the dishwasher out, and clean it all up. Okay, now that we have the electrical disconnected, we can actually pull the dishwasher out. I'm also back from the hardware store and I got my new tube, my new water line. So we're gonna get ready to put that in as well. Let's pull the dishwasher out first. Okay, with the dishwasher out, we can see exactly how bad that leak was. If you look down here, it's pretty gross. I have some mold killer, and I'm gonna spray it all inside of here. That should take care of the staining. Alright, so what I'm gonna do is, as you can see, I'm wearing a mask, I've got gloves. I don't want to be inhaling any cleaning chemicals, especially any mold killer and stuff like that. And I definitely don't want to be inhaling any possible mold or anything like that. So I'm going to spray all inside of this cavity, and I'm going to get it all cleaned out before I put the dishwasher back in. I also got to clean the top of the dishwasher, the top and the back of the dishwasher. Just make sure everything's taken care of and it's all clean before we put it back in. So that's what I'm going to get started on now. Okay, now that I've got everything cleaned up, I'm almost ready to put the dishwasher back in. At the same time, I'm going to replace this pipe. This pipe goes from the dishwasher air gap, top gap up there where that hole is, to the garbage disposal. The reason I'm going to replace it is because, as you can see, there's a kink in it here. This causes the water not to flow properly, and this tube gets clogged. There's all kinds of gunk in there. I'll show you. All kinds of gunk and whatnot in there because the water's not flowing through it properly because of that kink right here in the middle. So I got a longer pipe. I'm going to cut it to length, longer than this one so it doesn't kink up, and we'll just replace this. We don't need to go much longer than this. Here's the new pipe. Just a little bit longer, so I'm going to probably cut it about here so it doesn't kink up on us.
so I've got my new pipe, not kinked up. Water should flow through this much more smoothly. I'm not even going to reuse the clamps from this. I bought brand new clamps. I'm just going to put them on the ends of this pipe, and I'll show you where this goes. Alright, this is the air gap hose, the drain hose that's coming off of the dishwasher. And this part actually sits above the sink and is covered by that cap, that metal cap I showed you earlier. So the first end of this pipe is actually going to go here, and you just want to put it on there, and then we just want to clamp it down into place, and we can do that with a screwdriver. This is just a flathead screwdriver, or you can actually use a socket on it as well. This is just a hose clamp, pretty self-explanatory. Screw it down until it's tight. Make sure there's no leaks. It's easier to do this with the pipe fully out in the open here than it is when it's under the sink. Alright, so we've got that tight on there. That's not going anywhere. That's one end. This end is actually going to go into the side of the garbage disposal, and I'll show you that underneath the sink. This is my new water supply line. The old line is the line that was leaking. This is the new one. I'm not going to put it in until I actually have the dishwasher in place. It's just easier that way. It's harder to move the dishwasher around the kitchen when it's got a big old pipe hanging off of it. And I can access both the supply point where the valve is, as well as where it goes underneath the dishwasher while the dishwasher is installed. So the next step is going to be actually putting the dishwasher back in place and getting the electrical hooked back up. Alright, let's get the dishwasher back in place. Okay, now that the dishwasher's back in place, we gotta hook the electrical back up. Alright, now that we have the electrical hooked up, we can put this metal cover over the top of the wires, and then we can run the water line. Okay, now it's time to replace the previously bad water supply line. Here's the new line, and we'll uncoil it. And the first thing we're gonna do is we have to feed it into the right place. So it just goes underneath the dishwasher here, and then I'll just pull it through from underneath right here. And then it's just gonna hook up right over here. And I'm just gonna use my channel locks to tighten that up. Make sure it doesn't leak. Alright, we should be good to go there. Now we have to connect it back up to the supply valve, which is up here. This is our new line, and we want to make sure there's no kinks in it. And we'll just connect it right up here. Alright. Next thing we have to take care of is we have to reconnect the drain pipe. Now this is going to go up underneath and pop out up on top of the sink up there. And then this rubber pipe here, the new one that we made, that one gets connected right here to the garbage disposal. Okay, I've got everything hooked up now. I've got the dishwasher remounted into the cavity. I've got the brand new supply line right here. And I've got the other tube hooked up right there. If you'll notice, it's longer than what we originally cut. That's because the one that we cut was actually still kinking up on me, so I needed a little bit of a longer pipe. So this pipe shouldn't kink up on me. Should let the water flow really well. Now we got to turn the water back on and make sure we don't have a leak underneath the dishwasher. So let's go ahead and do that now. I'm just going to rotate this valve right in here, counterclockwise, make sure the water is flowing. Okay, water's flowing. That line should be pressurized even with the dishwasher off, but I'm going to start a dishwasher cycle and make sure there's no dripping underneath here. All that's left is to install the bottom panel, which we cleaned earlier to cover all the mechanics of the dishwasher up, and we fixed the leak. I hope that you guys enjoyed that video. Thank you for coming along with me on this journey to find out where the leak was and then repair the leak. I hope you guys have the confidence to be able to take on these simple repairs yourselves, and I hope these videos help. Let me know what repairs you guys are doing around your house in the comments below. Feel free to contact me via email or Instagram. And as always, thank you for joining me for another problem solved.